I want to tell you, now Indian chartered accountants are masters in technology. I was speaking today morning in AI Summit, which is held in Bharat Mandapa by the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi. Chartered accountants are not only masters in artificial intelligence, they are masters in blockchains, data analytics, Internet of Things, cyber security audits, information security audits.
So today's discussion basically brings together the leadership of a profession that plays a defining role in India's economic and institutional framework. Chartered accountants contribute not only through technical expertise, but through trust, judgment, and responsibility. So my role this evening will be very limited to facilitate a conversation that helps this young students and the faculties here to understand this journey and its larger relevance to the nation. So my first question is, the phrase chartered accountants as partners in nation building carries deep significance. From your perspective and experience, how does this role extend beyond traditional areas such as audit and taxation into strengthening India's economic governance and institutional credibility?
Mr. Sarkar, there is a couplet, ये आप सबकी नजर है, कहते ढूंढने से कहां मिलते हैं तमन्नाओं के शहर, ढूंढने से कहां मिलते हैं तमन्नाओं के शहर, चलने की जिद भी जरूरी है मंजिल पाने के लिए. If you want to achieve newer heights, if you want to go up to the roof, you need to have some impetus, some propelling force. APJ Abdul Kalam, the past president of the Institute of India, said that Indian chartered accountants are partners in nation building. I want to tell you, over the years we have graduated to be now partners in global building. We just concluded WOFA, a flagship program of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, drawing close to 10,000 chartered accountants from all across the globe. And there the discussion was how we could go beyond auditing, how we could go beyond accountancy, taxation. I want to tell you, now Indian chartered accountants are masters in technology. I was speaking today morning in AI Summit, which is held in Bharat Mandapa by the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi. Chartered accountants are not only masters in artificial intelligence, they are masters in blockchains, data analytics, Internet of Things, cyber security audits, information security audits. And I want to tell you, on 7th February, when I was the president, we concluded a meeting where we bought information system audit standards, technology, sustainability, ESG. We have always tried to breach newer ideas to create value and worth, and therefore we are partners in nation building, that whenever nation needs us. When Operation Sindoor came, I was in Bhatinda, total blackout. I drove from Bhatinda to Chandigarh, again total blackout. Morning I started from Chandigarh and asked my secretary, I said, Mr. Secretary, I would like to speak to CS students and members on how we could help India in winning Operation Sindoor. You'll be happy to know, in 4 hours, when I reached to my headquarters ITO, 55,000 members and students were waiting to speak to me. And next day, in 12 hours, more than 14 lakh people had joined that movement. We are keen to add value to the country's initiatives.
Sir, probably a question was kept for later, but the way you touched at the very beginning, the nerve of the nation right now, AI, technology. So my next question into that aspect only, with technology, automation, and this digital compliance reshaping the finance function and the future, how should the aspiring chartered accountants, how should these aspiring finance professionals themselves to remain relevant while continuing to add value and exercise professional judgment?
One thing is very clear. When you have to add value, all monotonous things should be done on your command. You can do two things. Either you do entire work, labor, or you do the analysis. Chartered accountants are born to do analysis. Support the board or audit committee as the case may be. Determine the risk appetite and exhibit it to the board. So all this happens when with help of technology, you are able to put things in the right perspective. Use technology. Technology is used for four purposes. Number one, it puts you out of all monotonous work which the machine does. Number two,
True.
it guarantees you arithmetical accuracy. Number three, computers don't have wives. They finish work on time. And fourth and most important thing, computers work in a parameter which you are able to gauge and take a call on. So if as a professional you have to grow high, all the contours of success have to be placed on one singular ground. You can only move ahead when you have things in your control. Control समझते क्या होता है? कहते हैं ना, हाथ की लकीरें भी बड़ी शातिर होती हैं. हाथ की लकीरें भी बड़ी शातिर होती हैं. कमबख्त मुट्ठी में तो होती है, काबू में नहीं होती.
So nicely said, sir. So, sir, when we're sitting, you ask few of these, young professionals what they want to be. And I heard few of them said, we want to get into that entrepreneurship journey, want to have our own startups. So, in this respect, sir, my next question is, in India's startup ecosystem is definitely growing and growing very rapidly. So, in your view, how the chartered accountants or finance professionals increasingly supporting as a trusted advisors, particularly in areas such as structuring, fundraising, and long-term sustainability?
I'm so happy to meet these young people. I see in them great entrepreneurs of the future. They may be young today sitting here, but they'll grow, mature to be economic leaders, industry leaders. I'll give an example. I was speaking to one of my clients in US. Amidst the conversation, he asked me a question. He said, Mr. Nanda, who's your mentor? Immediately, so many faces came before me, my seniors, person with whom I was taught, people who trained me. And then he himself concluded what he said would be of immense amusement to you. He said, Mr. Nanda, you are wasting your life. If you don't have a mentor who's below 30 years of age, 30 साल से कम उम्र का शख्स आपका mentor है. I look forward to all of you with respect to three things. Number one, drive your own startups. Person sitting in Shri Ram College of Commerce has the background of performance. Only the ideas which come through his mind would move him towards a larger perspective. You will have so many adverse things to stop, but you will grow. एक कहावत है कि रात भर का है मेहमा अंधेरा, रात भर का है मेहमा अंधेरा, किसके रोके रुका है सवेरा. रात जितनी संगीन होगी, सुबह उतनी रंगीन होगी. The struggle which you put in, how you drive capital, how you use the areas where you want to excel, how to get manpower, how to get finance from banks, technology, everything can be a challenge. But you have the valor to fight out that challenge and emerge victorious. So my suggestion to you, two suggestions. Number one, have full faith in yourself. Understand the prevalent laws. Understand your vision. Create a vision which you can see sitting on the table. And second thing, pray to Lord Almighty. मैं खुदा का नाम लेकर पी रहा हूं दोस्तों, मैं खुदा का नाम लेकर पी रहा हूं दोस्तों. जहर भी इसमें हुआ तो दवा हो जाएगा, जहर भी इसमें हुआ तो दवा हो जाएगा.
So, sir, in this context only, so when I say, you said that you talk about technology, you talked about this startups culture, this idea, and the wonderful, it's your gratitude, sir, that even after so many of years of experience, so much of wisdoms, you still chose to learn. You chose to learn from people who are younger than 30. That shows that kind of humbleness you have, sir. And probably that's why you are.
सरकार जी, who am I? I am a Sikh. Sikh बोलते हैं हमें ना. Sikh का मतलब होता है जो हमेशा सीखने को तत्पर रहता हो.
क्या बात
One who wants to learn. And if you want to succeed in life, remain a learner throughout your life. You'll get so many things to learn and use in life to prosper, to be highly successful.
As ICAI works very closely with all the regulators who are, are the custodian of Indian economies. That way, I talk about MCA or SEBI or maybe, the CBDT. How do you see this institutional engagement enabling chartered accountants or finance professionals to support sound policy implementation in order to create that fiscal transparency, either to bring this fiscal transparency as well as to that dream of, one of the biggest economy in the world and those 2047 vibrant Bharat's dream?
Mr. Sarkar, when you speak about regulators, it may be SEBI, it may be NAFRA, it may be MCA, it may be IBBI, it may be CBDT, it may be SFIO, CBI. You get a tight rope to walk. The young students sitting here are people who have a distinct bent of mind to perform. कहते ना मंजिल मिल ही जाएगी थोड़ा भटककर ही सही. मंजिल मिल ही जाएगी थोड़ा भटककर ही सही. गुमराह तो वो है जो घरों से निकले ही नहीं. People who have come here have that distinct bent of mind to perform. So when it comes to performance through various facets, they bring out their best. I want to tell you, growth is imminent. Anyone amongst you will be a short, successful person, but take ethics by your side. Kacha lalach mat karna. At times you get lured by certain things which are not correct. That stops your progress. If you go on to the path of rightness, you always emerge victorious. Please understand. So these regulators ensure that the tight rope walking which we do is balancing our growth, balancing ethics with growth, balancing taxes with earning money, balancing your internal growth coupled with the professional skills which you acquire in using your or your client's growth engine. So you have to work in tandem with the best practices internationally and perform at a larger level.
Thank you, sir. I think you summed up so well, because most of the time, it's all of us, it's very important for us to understand what each and every regulator is trying to bring on table, and what is that adding additionally to the nation growth. So when you just touched upon those ethical side of it. So my next question to you, sir, because public confidence in financial systems rests significantly on professional integrity, professionals like us. How does ICAI would continue to emphasize ethics, accountability, and independence among its members, and in an increasingly complex financial environment? End of the day, the whole purpose is to create that dream we are having to one of the best in the world.
Mr. Sarkar, when we work with a distinct thought process to contribute, keeping into sight the ethics, accountability, excellence, and system issues. Nobody can move. Swami Vivekananda once very rightly said, if you are moving and you have seen that there is no obstacle in your way, I am 100% sure you are on the wrong path. When you go on the path to excel, you tumble, you fall. You get so many enemies to stop you go there. कहते हैं ना, ढूंढोगे घर तो ही रास्ते मिलेंगे. ढूंढोगे घर तो ही रास्ते मिलेंगे. मंजिलों की फितरत है, खुद चलकर नहीं आती. You have to find ways and means to perform ethically, genuinely, in the right path, giving proper taxes, taking compliance at the highest level, and yet show greatest degree of performance. I told you, we concluded World Forum of Accountants. The chief guest in the inauguration session was Chartered Accountant Piyush Goyal, Commerce Minister. And the guests of honor was again a senior Chartered Accountant, Kumar Mangalam Birla. Both of them have a very, very beautiful journey. But the journey started with keeping ethics as the bedrock. So to conclude, I would like to tell you that you can fly as high as you intend to. राधा कृष्णन साहब हमारे हिंदुस्तान के पूर्व प्रेसिडेंट ने कहा है, fly as high as you can, but keep your feet embedded to the earth below. आसमां पे किसी के ठिकाने नहीं होते, आसमां पे किसी के ठिकाने नहीं होते, जो जमी के नहीं होते वो कहीं के नहीं होते.
So I can feel the energy of this whole auditorium. So, and that's where I think that every time the question comes into this young student's mind or the future professionals, that what is the relevance of all the studies, all the hard work they are doing. So, in this respect, sir, my next question is, as students today, probably they see the diverse career options in consulting, in analytics, entrepreneurship, industry. In your view, what makes chartered accountancy or a finance professional is resilient and future-oriented a professional pathway?
Their training,
Yeah.
their impetus to creating value, their commitment to get professional knowledge, standards, and laws by their side. Very importantly in life, you have to create a philosophy. Philosophy vis-a-vis yourself. Philosophy vis-a-vis the institute in which you are studying. Philosophy vis-a-vis the country's economic system. If you want to grow in a country like India and stand apart with success in your hands, it becomes very imperative that you know everything which matters. Then only you can go into consulting. If you want to do consulting, you have to be masters of various disciplines which will drive you through success. And the last thing, your thought process vis-a-vis your God. भगवान के साथ आपका रास्ता बड़ा जरूरी है. कहते हैं ना, मैं और मेरे खुदा दोनों भूल जाते हैं. मैं और मेरे खुदा दोनों भूल जाते हैं. वो मेरे गुनाहों को, मैं उनकी मेहरबानियों को.
Thank you so very much, sir. I think the context is somehow every time I'm getting lost. Every time we're just bringing something very special element through these shairis, and everything is getting summed up in those two lines. My bad. But yeah, my next question, I think that in the very beginning, sir, you mentioned about the global recognition. The chartered accountants or maybe the company executive are getting nowadays. Initially, it started with national building, now it's a global building. So, if we just talk about the today's scenario, how you feel the visibility across global markets and institutes, and could you share how ICAI is strengthening those international recognition and present, especially when we talk about if someone needs to think that I want to work global, or when someone has an aspiration to go global and in order to help our nation back. So what's your piece of advice to them, sir?
Mr. Sarkar, I take you back to 2004 when I joined the Central Council of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. As a young man, when I used to go to overseas, I could evidently see ourselves as second-rung citizens. People did not like us. People did not want to speak to us much more. And last year I visited practically all of the world. People clamor to speak to Indians. The moment they know you are an Indian, they want your autograph. They want to speak to you. 4 reasons for that. Number 1, we are responsible professionals. Indian citizens are very responsible, and that is why we have set up so many GCCs. Outsourcing work is coming to us. China has established itself as a manufacturing hub. We have established ourselves as services hub. Number 2, our command on English. आदमी को अपने शफा दिखती नहीं है. We are masters of grammatically correct English. We don't use slang in our language. We use grammatically correct English. That is a great booster to our thought process. Third very important thing, the level of professional knowledge which we have. International financial reporting standards, we are master of it. Professionals sitting in India do conversion from Japanese GAAP to Chinese GAAP, do conversion from German GAAP to US GAAP. Sitting in a different geographical diction, you're doing things between two things. Fourth important thing and the last thing, ladies and gentlemen, when you're proud of your country, when you have faith on yourself, people follow suit. If you come to my office, on the reception there is a poster which reads, when you start, people insult you. जब सरकार साहब कंपनी सेक्रेटरी करने के तो लोगों ने मजाक उड़ाया, सरकार कंपनी सेक्रेटरी कहाँ कर लेगा भाई. Then he does it. People acknowledge, अच्छा इंटरमीडिएट कर लिया, लगता है कहीं से पूछ पाछ के कर लिया. And when he does it, people admire. जब सरकार साहब 2 साल के तभी मुझको लगता था ये कंपनी सेक्रेटरी कर लेंगे. This is admiration. कहते ना देते ना थे जो जवाब, उनके सलाम आने लगे. देते ना थे जो जवाब, उनके सलाम आने लगे. वक्त बदला तो मेरे नीम के पेड़ पर आम आने लगे. This is Indian professional overseas. We are stars now. People want to follow us. People want to collaborate with us. People want to partner with us for their successful conclusion of the projects.
Wonderful, sir. I think the example you just shown that 2004 vis-a-vis today, I think that difference I do also feel, because in my career I have been, every interval I have been visiting different country, and I have seen that graph growing of respect. The way people used to look earlier, professionals of India, and today, I think there's a huge difference, and it is growing every day. Thanks for bringing that up before everyone, so that that energy, that I would say that curiosity of becoming a wonderful professional will continue. In this respect, sir, I have another question for you, that is around the future readiness. When you say future readiness, sir, it comes along with new AIs coming up, technology. As you mentioned, sir, you touched upon that international financial reporting side. For example, now new IFRS 18 is into the process. So there are a lot of things are coming together, okay? So I'm sure every time the law changes, every time the new technology emerges, opportunities are also come up. At the same time, new challenges also pop up. So in your wise mind, sir, what would be those piece of advices to all of us here to ensure that we pass through their challenges, they pass through their challenges and find out those opportunities for the right purpose?
My dear younger brothers and sisters, 5 important facets here. Number 1, keep tuned. Keep tuned to learning newer things. Always remain a learner. Number 2, understand things which people want to dissuade themselves with. A professional is a man who understands complex laws and is able to interpret them in a very simple fashion. Third, have more command on different languages. You may know 2-3 languages. In Delhi, people know Hindi, English, Punjabi. Some people know Bengali, as Mr. Sarkar is a master. But largely, you should know more languages. Number 4, you should have a blueprint of your success. I'll give an example of Walt Disney. You know, there is a Disneyland in Anaheim. When Disneyland was set up, Walt Disney had died 13 years ago. In the inauguration, one of the reporters said in a very sad voice, he said, had Walt Disney been alive today, he would have seen this great Disneyland. The nephew of Walt Disney, Ray, immediately rebuked the man. He said, you are a fool. Walt Disney saw this 13 years back. Therefore, it is in perspective today. Your vision of future, how you envisage what you intend to achieve in times to come. And last thing, your rigorous study, your rigorous indulgence, and a disciplined approach. कहते हैं ना, अपने हौसलों को खबर करते रहो. अपने हौसलों को खबर करते रहो. जिंदगी मंजिल नहीं, सफर है, चलते रहो. Keep moving and creating worth. That is the mantra of success.
I think when you say these 5 facets, it's important for us to ensure that we keep on learning. I think the learning is something that you first Seekna, that should not be stopped anytime. So in this episode only, the government has, in this budget, have come up with a concept called Mitra.
Corporate Mitra.
The corporate Mitra, where they have asked professional institutions like chartered accountant, company secretaries to help, or maybe in order to help those people who want to be the entrepreneurs, especially on this MSMEs, into rural or to the emerging entrepreneurs. So government's expectation is very clear from us because they rely on us. So what would you believe that this particular professionals should do, and how the younger generation should come up and join hands in that journey?
See, young brothers and sisters, the country is growing at a big pace. You don't have those many professionals to service it. So you go to people with a different background, say 12th pass or graduates. You train them in corporate mitras, train them on GST, train them on accounting, train them on compliances, train them on ROC matters, so that they are able to effectively help corporates or MSMEs who are smaller in scale to scale high. It is a process whereby the cream is taken care by professionals who are qualified, and other support services are given by professionals who have just done their graduation. So the basic purpose is to create value. The basic purpose is to transform a person to become a professional, to render services, helping the corporate or MSME, and in the process getting a gainful employment. कहते हैं ना, बुतो तारीफ है तुम पर. बुत समझते क्या होता है? स्टैच्यू, मुजस्मा. बुतो तारीफ है तुम पर, तरक्की इसको कहते हैं. बुतो तारीफ है तुम पर, तरक्की इसको कहते हैं. ना तराशे थे तो पत्थर थे, तराशे तो खुदा निकले.
Sir, what message you want to give to those young people sitting here who aspire to pursue or aspire to be a great professionals or businessmen, and who will help our nation to become where you want to be, in a meaningful way to contribute India's development journey? What would be your final piece of advice to all of them?
My final piece of advice to all of you is that all of you are stars. जो लोग इस हॉल में बैठे हैं, they have in them immense value to perform. You have to value yourself. I'll tell you one thing. जिंदगी में दुश्वारी, परेशानी, तकलीफ हर किसी को आती है. It is but natural to get depressed, to go out. But the moment you feel depressed, think of your parents. माँ बाप से बढ़कर और कोई चीज इस दुनिया में नहीं है. हम लोग 5,30,000 चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट हैं जो सरासर गलत बयानी है. हम 5,30,000 माओं की मेहनत, मशक्कत और दुआओं का नतीजा है कि हम चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट बनकर यहां बैठे. थिंक ऑफ योर फादर. जब आपका मन करे मैं गेम से बाहर हो जाऊं, मैं हार चुका हूं, हार चुकी हूं, थिंक ऑफ योर पेरेंट्स. यू विल कम बैक टू द गेम. सो 2 advices to you. Number 1, struggle to succeed. सक्सेस आराम से नहीं आती. इट इज वेरी रेयर. इट कम्स टू पीपल हु हैव परसिवरेंस. इट कम्स टू पीपल हु हैव इन देम अ स्टोर ऑफ लिसनिंग टू पीपल्स कमेंट्स एंड फीलिंग इंसल्टेड. एंड सेकंड थिंग, हैव फेथ इन गॉड. कहते हैं ना, भीगे हुए परों से, पर समझते क्या होता है? फेदर. भीगे हुए परों से परवाज करके देख. परवाज का मतलब उड़ना और पर का मतलब फेदर. भीगे हुए परों से परवाज करके देख, अंजाम उसके हाथ है, आगाज करके देख. स्टार्ट टू ग्रेट फ्यूचर टू परफॉर्म. माय लास्ट पार्टिंग वर्ड्स टू यू इज दैट यू आर अ स्टार इन मेकिंग. यू हैव टू क्रिएट योरसेल्फ. यू हैव टू प्रोबेबली रिकंस्ट्रक्ट योरसेल्फ, बट यू हैव टू बी द बेस्ट in all aspects, so that your parents feel proud कि आप उनके बच्चे हैं. Thank you so much.
Thank you so very much, sir. It was a pleasure. I'm sure if he allows to open this forum to ask question, how much time it will take, but still, if someone wants to ask any question, maybe couple of questions at max,
Thank you, sir. Good evening. I'm your very big fan, and thank you so much that I am here and I can listen to you. My question is, my name is Manav, and I am also pursuing CA Intermediate. I'm going to give in September. My question is, we always see chartered accountants as, so initially when a CH starts its career to practice, he is more successful if he's able to evade more tax, he's able to manipulate the accounts betterly and save businessmen more and more income. That is where he gets his initial success from while he's practicing as an individual. So what are your thoughts about that?
No, I do not agree to it, Madhav. It is a feeling amongst people. I told you earlier also that if you want to grow to unprecedented heights, you have to be ethical. एक गलती इंस्टीट्यूट में कंप्लेन हो गई, आपका पूरा 10-12 साल उस कंप्लेन को सॉल्व करने में लगते हैं। भूख लगे तो जहर नहीं खाया करते। If you feel hungry, you don't eat poison. Relax. So many people want to come to you for the wrongful things. And over the years, कम से कम पिछले 15-20 साल में कॉर्पोरेट कल्चर इतना सुधर गया है that people want not to evade taxes but to pay taxes. People want their accounts to be in the right transparent fashion. तो अपने माइंडसेट को उधर लगाएं, डू सम वैल्यू एड सर्विसेज। आप क्लाइंट को सजेस्ट करते हैं उनकी कॉस्ट कटिंग कैसे हो सकती है, आप क्लाइंट को कुछ वैल्यू ऐड दें जो आपके सिवाय कुछ न दे सके, क्लाइंट आपको कभी छोड़ेगा नहीं, ये पक्का है।
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
थैंक यू माधव।
Hello, good evening, sir. My name is Govind. I'm a CA finalist. So, sir, I'm massive respect for you and honored to attend your session here. But today, it's an appreciation thing. I mean, I'm amused by your shairis and all. So, I want to ask you, how did you get to garner these shairis? And I mean, a great fan of these shairis.
गोविल, एक उर्दू में छोटी सी लाइन है
Yes, sir.
कि अल्फाज जज्बातों का आईना होते हैं। वर्ड्स सिग्निफाई व्हाट योर हार्ट सेज, व्हाट योर इमोशन सेज। शायरी तो एक छोटा सा जरिया है अपने आप को एक्सप्रेस करने का। इफ यू डोंट वांट टू स्पीक टू लॉन्ग, यू सी ओनली 2 words एंड इट हैज एन इक्वल ट्रांसक्यूलिंग इफेक्ट ऑन द ऑडियंस। तो शायरी अपने आप को एक्सप्रेस करने का छोटा सा जरिया है जिससे लोग चार्ज हो जाते हैं एंड दे ब्रिंग होम द पॉइंट व्हिच हैज टू बी मेड टू देम।
Right.
So far as you want to learn शायरी, get involved, get attuned, जब आपका दिमाग एक तरफ लग जाता है तो खुद ब खुद ये चीजें आप तक चल कर आती हैं। कहते हैं ना, हम तो पानी हैं, हमें अपना हुनर मालूम है। हम तो पानी हैं, हमें अपना हुनर मालूम है, जिधर से निकलेंगे खुद ब खुद रास्ता बन जाएगा।
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We can have 2 questions, one here and one here, and then close.
सर आई एम किशन कुमार शर्मा एंड इट्स एन एक्सट्रीम ऑनर टू हैव यू। सर मेरा एक ये क्वेश्चन था कि जैसे हम लोग 12 में जाते हैं तो हम लोग एक मार्किंग स्कीम मिलती है जिससे हम लोग को पता रहता है कि हम लोग ये आंसर लिख के आएंगे तो हम लोग को फुल मार्क्स मिल जाएगा और पूरा स्टेप के अकॉर्डिंग मार्क्स होता है उसमें। तो 98-99% भी आ जाता है। CVT तो MCQ बेस ही होता है, लेकिन CA कोर्स में सर कभी कभी ये डाउट आ जाता है कि हम लोग इतने स्टेप्स लिख के आ रहे हैं तो इसमें साथ में कितना मार्क्स मिलेगा वो कहीं शो नहीं होता है। तो इसके ऊपर मतलब कैसे पता करें, खुद से evaluate कैसे करें?
शर्मा जी, मैं 3 दिन पहले तक आई वॉज द चेयरमैन ऑफ द एग्जामिनेशन कमेटी। हम स्टेप वाइज मार्किंग देते हैं। हो सकता है आपका आंसर ठीक ना, आपको पूरे मार्क्स मिले, लेकिन प्रॉब्लम क्या होती है, आप क्वेश्चन कहाँ करते हो और उसका जब आप रफ काम करते हो या उसकी वर्किंग करते हो दूसरे पेज पे करते हो। अपने क्वेश्चन को 2/3 और 1/3 पे बांट ले। 2/3 पे आंसर लिखे, 1/3 पे वर्किंग करेंगे तो एग्जामिनर देख पाएगा कि इस स्टेप से आदमी यहां तक पहुंचा है। ये जमाना ट्रांसपेरेंसी का है, ये जमाना डिस्क्लोजर्स का है। तो आप देखें कि क्या कैसे किया है और तब मार्क्स मिलते हैं। CA एग्जाम्स आर वेरी ओपन एग्जाम्स। We give our best. Supreme Court has on several occasions said that if you want to learn how exams are taken, go to the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. Be rest assured, प्रॉपर तरीके से काम करें, you will be rewarded at the fullest level.
यस सर, पर ये कैसे पता चलेगा किस स्टेप पे कितना मार्क्स है? जैसे सजेस्टेड आंसर में क्या होता है कि हम लोग को आंसर मिल जाता है, लेकिन हम लोग को ये पता नहीं चल पाता कि हम लोग इस स्टेप तक पहुंचे हैं तो हम लोग को कितना मार्क्स अवॉर्ड होना चाहिए।
देखिए, स्टेप वाइज तो मार्किंग हो ही नहीं सकती ना। वो तो एग्जामिनर जब देखता है कि कितना % उसने ठीक किया, उसको तो डिफाइन करना बड़ा मुश्किल है, लेकिन जब आप करते हैं आधा किया तो आपको आधे मार्क्स मिलने चाहिए, पौना किया तो 75% मिलने चाहिए।
थैंक यू सर।
जी